Abhi Thakur, great to see you, Vice President of Platforms at OATI. We're excited to be at DTECH this year, and it's been a big coming out party for Genie, our generative and agentic AI platform. And it's been awesome to see you giving demos and talking to utilities about what this means. It's not just a buzzword of AI, but how do we bring practical AI and focused AI to power grid operations? Before we get into some of those conversations that you've had, walk me through the elevator pitch for why this all began 5 years ago. Why did we start building this, and what was the value proposition we were hoping to unlock?
Thanks for having me, John. Appreciate the introduction. So 5 years ago, when we were interacting with our real customers, primarily California ISO, some of the things were very obvious. There's a lot of information overload that the operators are dealing with. There's so many different systems across the board. No matter what service territory you look at, no matter what area of operational workflows you look at, there's a lot of complexities involved in the daily operational workflows. And there's been processes that have been built in silos, which make it very complex for an operator to look at information because they're looking at many disjointed systems and trying to make sense out of them, especially in critical situations. It's very fatiguing. So that was the reason why we embarked on the journey of building this agentic and generative AI platform to truly solve the operational pain points that these operators are facing in their daily workflows.
I think the technology stack is certainly interesting, but a lot of Genie's story seems to be around process. And, how do you go about bringing meaningful change and impactful change to a utility or to a grid operator that it can't just be, well, let's do AI, or let's get this platform that we might use for this or we might use for that. The process that we went through with California ISO, I think, is unique and important to this story. How did you and your team work on identifying those opportunities, staying focused, having a clear lane that could be communicated not only to operators who would use it, but to the C-suite and to that leadership class that needs to know that this is worthwhile?
Absolutely. So the process is key here. This wasn't necessarily just AI looking for a problem to solve. We really wanted to zoom in on the actual pain points of the operators that they were dealing, right? So a lot of interview sessions with these operators to truly understand what's the root of the problem that they're encountering. Why does that problem exist to begin with? And then understand what are some of the different systems they are looking at. What is the type of data that they are looking at? Is it structured, unstructured data? Really just trying to identify where is all of this stemming from. And then once we zoomed into the data sets, identified the complexities that they are dealing with, we were able to design specific AI techniques within the Genie platform to address those specific use cases. And we had to collaboratively work with a lot of stakeholders from both OATI and California ISO, because we couldn't build this system in a silos. We had to keep the operators engaged. We had to make sure that the C-suite was engaged so they could see where AI was bringing a meaningful change to their operational workflow or not, right?
What's interesting is this first project was with the ISO was focused on outage management, transmission level. We're here with a distribution audience, but when you watch those utilities, seeing your demo, you see that the eyes light up, that there is that art of the possible that comes from these conversations, because the categories may change, the labels may change, but we're talking about massive amounts of data. We're talking about alerts. We're talking about actions. We're talking about ways to make operators more efficient, more accurate, to support them in their day-to-day. When you think about the distribution level then, how do you think organization by organization, how is Genie then molded to have that foundational intelligence, but really be something that is made for them, that this is not a turnkey off-the-shelf kind of offering?
Right. So right from the beginning, our vision was not to build a custom tool for outage management or perhaps even for California ISO. Our goal at OATI was building a platform, a toolkit that can plug and play in any type of use case and can integrate with any type of data sets. And you rightfully said, I mean, the issues are the same. The information is extensive. There's information flooding from many different sources. There's complexities involved in reviewing and identifying what's wrong, and how do I act as an operator in critical conditions. Those things apply in pretty much the whole spectrum of the energy industry. So you can harness the power of this platform, which is very general purpose and can sit on top of pretty much any application in the energy space.
When you see then the operators getting to dive into the platform for the first time, what's that like for you and your team? Because you've spent hundreds of hours. I know you're doing this on weekends, nights, early mornings, to then see the operators and watch their movements and see how they're engaging with the platform. What do you learn in that stage?
Well, first of all, it's surreal to see that they're using it in real time. It's helping them become more efficient, taking something that was earlier taking them maybe days and hours to analyze, now down to minutes. So it's a great feeling. I mean, my background is all technology and I love solving problems. To really see that this platform is able to address some of their pain points and make them more efficient, it's a very good feeling.
Abhi Thakur, thanks so much for joining me.
Pleasure being here, John. Thank you.